Alright, let's get this show on the road, ladies and gents.
Yeah, it's sex night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that even mean?
It means we're gonna do it.
Oh, like you haven't done it yet?
No, like ever. It's my first time.
Oh my god.
I'm really nervous.
Wow. So, you know, like how?
Yeah, you like put it in and you pee in her.
Kinda.
And that's how you make a baby.
Kinda. So, first, you've got to do what they call foreplay, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I've discovered that has to do with mathematics.
Okay.
Because it's like something to do with the number 4.
Right.
So I think, this is my theory. So you've got 2 butt cheeks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She also has 2 butt cheeks.
So you poop into her butt.
No. So you take, like, your butt cracks, and then you align them like so.
Like a plus sign.
Perpendicular.
Like
Okay.
a plus sign, exactly. So you've got 2 and 2, and now you've got 4, because you're adding them together.
Okay.
And then you just, like, fucking get in it, you know? And that's foreplay.
Just like slap your buttholes together?
Yeah, and then whoever concedes first has just lost their virginity.
They're the bottom?
Yeah, I think so. And then that's when they get the sex.
They become entangled.
Entangled.
Welcome to
Hello, Nathaniel.
You already did Nathaniel.
And welcome to Die. Who?
I think you already did Nathaniel.
No, we haven't done Nathaniel.
We haven't done Nathaniel? Oh.
We can do whatever fucking name we want.
Yeah,
if
you
you just want to say Jeffrey,
Howard. I like Howard.
if you just want to say Jeffrey every fucking episode, you can do that.
No, Howard.
Nah.
Alright, maybe I'll just fucking pick a different name.
That's fine. No, Nathaniel, it's done. It's in the books.
Alright.
It's in the books.
And welcome to Die, a weekly podcast, except for last week, where we talk about, or I guess except for 2 weeks ago, the week after Thanksgiving. We didn't do one that week. Where we talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about, but usually theories and shit. Eventually we're going to get to like a number of episodes where we don't even have to tell people what we're talking about every week. They're just going to get the idea.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. And then we can just say
Feels
welcome
redundant.
to Die and then start the episode. Yeah. I'm already getting tired of saying what we're talking about. So,
Yep.
today, we're going to be talking about something that I started researching with great wonder. And then after researching it was like, man, this thing's kind of a little more boring than I was expecting. But
Its purpose was a little more boring.
Yeah. So, like, I went into it. So, we're talking about the Antikythera Mechanism.
Antikythera.
The Antikythera Mechanism, found in the spring of 1900 near the island of Antikythera, somewhere over there in the seas of between Europe and Africa and Asia.
I say things wrong all the time, apparently. I thought it was pronounced Antikythera. Like Antikythera. But yours sounds better. I'm sure that's how it's said.
I only knew how to say it because I watch videos.
Yeah, a couple documentaries and everyone was like, Antikythera. And that's all anyone ever said. So
No, I mean, that's gotta be it.
we could all be wrong.
What was that old... There's this fucking old Greek play that we read through in high school, and... Oh, it's fucking...
The Odyssey?
No. It was something else. It was something weird. I'd never heard of it before. But one of the characters was called Calliope, right?
Yeah.
And I kept saying Calliope.
Yeah. I remember that name.
Yeah.
You weren't the only person to do that.
Penelope.
Well,
What a beautiful name.
Penelope.
Oh, man. So, the Antikythera Mechanism was this fucking thing, and I remember, like, when I first heard about it, for some reason, like, when you first hear about a thing, you think it's new, right?
Yeah.
Because I think I was in college, and I fucking hear about this thing. I'm probably fucking around in YouTube on college. On YouTube in college. fucking around, you know, staying up till 3 in the morning, totally skipping all my classes and shit.
God, you sucked so hard at college.
Hey, dude, you didn't fucking graduate either, right?
No, but I at least went to my classes. I waited until I was at class.
Get a lot done.
I waited until I was at class to not give a shit.
I guess that's one way to do it. So, yeah, I did go to some of my classes, all right?
For like a week.
Nah, for most of the semester.
Okay, like 2 weeks.
I went to geology, and I went to band, and I actually went to algebra until, like, I really gave fucking algebra the old college try, but I just couldn't fucking take that goddamn Alex program any longer. Like, I asked the professor, I was like, it's gonna pivot on the response from the professor. So I go up to the professor, I don't remember his name, he was some old black guy, and I was like, hey professor, this is about the 8th time today that I've put in the correct answer on that goddamn machine, and it has told me that I'm wrong. What can we do to fix this? You know what he said? Who are you? I was like, well, fuck this shit. I'm never coming back. And then I left his class right there in the middle of class.
I took that fucking class 3 times and failed it 3 times.
Oh, God.
I took it just the one time and then told SEMO to suck the whole fucking mess right up their ass and blow it out their face.
SEMO sucks.
Yeah, SEMO sucks.
I don't care who's listening. SEMO sucks. Max sucks even more.
SEMO sucks.
Max fucking terrible.
The only reason people go there is because it's cheap.
Yeah,
right.
That's the only
Then
reason.
they don't have to move.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I think cheap's a relative term. I only went for 1 year and I'm still paying it off.
Yeah, but your loan is nothing.
It's because I only went for a year. So, we're talking about the Antikythera device. It was discovered, like I said before I got off track. I discovered its existence probably in 2010, right?
Like you found
and
it?
I thought, oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I discovered that it was a thing.
Nice. So why'd you call it that?
Yeah.
Why'd I call it what?
Why'd you call it the Antikythera machine?
No, I discovered for myself that it existed on the planet.
See, you need to be more specific.
Fucking...
Yeah, jeez.
Try to be more Pacific.
Colonel Angus over here fucking trying to... Actually, it was found in the Atlantic.
By some guys who are like getting... What's it? Like they were catching food or something like that? Some divers?
Yeah. They were diving.
For sponges.
Yeah.
It was sponges that they ate.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to eat those. Says it on the package.
And they came across a bunch of like bronze and marble sculptures and like pottery and all kinds of shit.
Busts.
Yeah. So it was after a 3-day storm when the sea had been roughed up real nice, and they thought now would be a great time to go down there and get our sponges. Back in 1900, that's what you did. Like I said, it was found just off the island of Antikythera, which is how it got its name, obviously. And the divers, once they started finding stuff, they ended up spending 9 months at the site searching for stuff. And like I said, they pulled out all kinds of crazy shit. Bronze and marble sculptures, tons of pottery, just all kinds of fucking wacky ancient shit. So fast forward quite a long time, basically amongst the wreckage they find this mechanism that's got it's severely corroded, but they can tell it's made out of metal, and nobody knows what the hell it's for. So when I found this thing, right, of course it was like some sort of clickbait.
Okay, so hang on.
YouTube video.
So you found it,
Jesse? I'm gonna put thumbtacks in your fucking car seat, alright? Yeah.
Oh.
So
I think I had a similar reaction. Like, I heard about it and was like, oh, it sounds like bullshit. Some ancient
like,
computer? Wow.
Yeah, it was
all
like
right,
world's first
information.
computer. Could it be proof of time travel? Could it be aliens? I was like, fucking alien space time capsule, right? And I freaked out a little bit. But I didn't actually research it then. I was just like, boys just found a fucking ancient alien space machine fucking out in the ocean, you know? And I just wrote it off as being that. But as we dig a little deeper, we're going to discover that it's not exactly some fucking ancient, you know, fucking space dildo. So, in 1976, esteemed Frenchman Jacques Cousteau revisited the wreckage. And his team discovered that it was a sunken Roman galley, which is a humongous fucking ship. But even as big as the ship was, they discovered that the ship was overloaded with goods. They found a ton more stuff when they went back in 76. They found a ton of like silver and bronze coins.
Right. It's like every time they go, they find
they
more.
find a ton
Even
of shit.
now.
Yeah,
they just found more. Yeah.
Last year, 2017, a team just went and found a ton more pottery. They found a bronze arm, more coins. And they found another piece, actually, that they think might have belonged to the mechanism. So they date these coins. Some of the coins were struck in Pergamon and Ephesus, which is like ancient Greek areas, cities. And the coins date to 60 to 70 BC. They found a pottery expert. It amazes me when people start looking into shit like this, like where they dig these people out of, like fucking Jesse, like the fucking Metalocalypse, where they find all these like fucking retarded experts on like the most crazy outlandish shit. It's like, and today we have Robert Bon Shazbot Foss Boston, expert on birthdays.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Like who is offering up, like, where do these people find jobs?
Right.
It's like, yes, I'm
Right.
an ancient plastic spoon researcher.
Right. It's like, you know, I bet college was just fucking riveting for you. It had to have been just a fucking,
like a footprint expert. You know?
Right.
Like, there's someone out there who's a footprint expert, that they wake up every day and they look at those things and they study them.
Yeah.
And then once every 10 years, someone asks them for something. And
they might get on like the History Channel.
That's their
for 5 seconds,
moment.
being like, "Yeah, well, in my experience, that is a footprint." And they're like, there you have it, folks. Fucking mystery solved.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's been doing it his whole life.
Get consulted for Bigfoot calls occasionally.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be so bad.
that is a Bigfoot.
So this pottery expert dated the pottery on the ship between 65 to 50 BC as well. So this mechanism is older than Jesus by quite a bit. Like, probably could have been Jesus' great-grandfather. So the idea was the ship loaded up in a city called Kos and then a city called Rhodes. You've heard of the Colossus of Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Right?
Rhodes 101.
Rhodes 101 ain't got shit on QT.
No, it doesn't. That's true.
So, the Colossus of Rhodes is my favorite ancient wonder of the world.
Oh, everyone's got one.
Yeah. Yeah. What's yours, Catherine?
Ooh. I mean, probably the pyramids. That's a little lame, though.
Yeah. Jesse?
My favorite ancient wonder is...
The gardens are pretty cool.
The Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
It's pretty neat. I would have to say probably the Sears Tower.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine. That's like a close second for me.
Yeah.
Anywho, like I said, some people initially thought the device might have been modern, and it might have just like fallen into the sea. Happens just to fall right on this fucking ancient shipwreck, and
Right.
Just happened to be corroded like it had been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for a couple thousand years. But some people just didn't think it was possible for that kind of thing to exist in a time period like that. What were you gonna ask?
Just you were talking about the ship's journey.
Yeah.
Weren't they possibly going for some like big celebration for Caesar?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
I read that like potentially like that time frame could have been.
Oh, yeah, I remember them saying something about that. They were picking, possibly. I think that was kind of like a theory, because it was all right around that time period, because they had picked up a ton of shit and probably gotten way too much shit, which is why they capsized. So this thing had 27 very, very complex gears, and they could only really see the first few gears before they started digging into this thing with x-rays. And when I say... So, I mean, I thought about getting into every single fucking gear and really tearing this thing apart and getting crazy fucking mathematical with it, but I'm not going to do that. I'll touch on a couple of the more interesting ideas, but this thing was, even by today's standards, to have been made by hand today without any sort of technological help, no computers used, would be an insanely impressive feat of engineering. So just keep that in mind. Whoever made this thing 2,000 years ago was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
So basically it was discovered that this thing was programmed, quote, quote, designed to compute the cycles of the moon and the known planets at the time. It had one very large gear with 235 teeth or cycles that represented the 235 lunar months, that coincided with a 127-toothed gear and a 223-toothed gear that represented an 18-year period, or 223 months, which lined up with the 235 lunar months. So there was a 53-toothed gear that tracked the moon over its 9-year elliptical cycle, because the moon not only orbits the Earth, but it's on like this elliptical like wobble that resets every 9 years. The precision involved in the gears was some next level shit. A lot of it had to do with as far as like dates and times, like how many gears or how many teeth in a gear, had to do with like ancient practices, like why 223 months. There was like this ancient practice involving kings that was 223 months long, from like 700 BC, that they thought might have been a cause for some of that. But anywho, they were using the sky around them and the planets to create a sort of clock or calendar that not only tracked what was happening in the sky, but something like, it was basically something you could like program your watch to. You could say, okay, well, we know to have this celebration on this day because this mechanism is tracking what's happening in the sky. So if the mechanism
It's good
says,
for farmers too.
Yeah. So I mean, it was wonderfully, intensely precise. This team gets together. It's a team of scientists and historians and mathematicians, and they're all fucking doing research, as best they can. And they're researching this thing for years and years and years and years and years. They'd get a little progress, and then they'd hit a stopping point where they go, okay, we figured so much out about this thing, and we don't know what's going on. So it took mathematicians, it took historians, it took these scientists working together to figure out what exactly everything meant. Like, why is this gear, why does it have 223 teeth? Like, what's the significance of that as far as tracking celestial events? So they got it all figured out in the long run.
And what was that, in like the 50s or something?
Yeah, I think that's when it started. Like,
okay. I just meant it's like in recent years.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, that they finally figured this out.
Yeah, they really got started in the 50s, researching it. Only in like really, really, really recent history did they actually like have the aha eureka moment and kind of put the whole thing together. So eventually, and I think this was in the 90s, they contacted a guy belonging to one of the leading X-ray companies in the UK, and apparently he was not super into the idea, because his company, they have expensive machines, and he was like, listen, time is money for us, and for us to dick with this thing, like, you got to make it worth my while. So apparently the leading researcher talked to this guy on the phone for an hour or two, and eventually the guy, he convinced him well enough that this guy spent his own company's money to build a special machine just for X-raying this mechanism. He built his own X-ray machine. It weighed over 8 tons.
This is how the conversation went. It's like, so let me get this straight. I mean, this is going to cost at least $5 million to X-ray. Yeah, but it's not $4 million. It's not. Oh man, it's not $7 million. It's not $8 million. It's just $5 million. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
You're right.
The guy's like,
you're totally right.
God damn it, you little scamp. All right.
You're good. You're good. I'll give you that. Don't twist my arm too hard now.
So he builds this giant ass X-ray.
So he built this gigantic fucking thing, and ended up having to like haul it across the fucking UK on using like 2 different trucks and like 20 forklifts, and calling up your dad to like fucking help you pull your truck out of the ditch or whatever.
Called his old college buddies to help come move it.
Dad, I built an 8-ton X-ray machine. I need help. He's like, oh, you rascal, always getting into 8-ton fucking X-ray machines. Boy, I tell you. So what he built was essentially an MRI machine for metallic objects without all the magnets. So you set this thing on a pedestal and it rotates whatever you've got on it, and then it literally fires thousands of X-rays at it to basically make a 3D replica of it. So you're hitting it with X-rays from all angles, top to bottom, completely throughout, essentially slicing it in layers from every direction possible.
Nice.
And building a 3D image that you can kind of blow apart and, fucking see into. Yeah, use your fingers like you're tickling some balls. So they, after this, discovered that there were 27 gears total. I think they were only able to actually physically find 7 or 8 just by looking at it. They discovered there were 27 gears just in the chunk that they had. It was an incomplete piece, but 27 very, very, very precise gears, all working in unison. They believed that there were more than 50 gears in the original complete machine. They, like I said, they discovered that it predicted all kinds of celestial phenomenon. It predicted lunar and solar eclipses down to the hour.
Which was something that they were very, scared of at the time, right? The eclipses were like a bad omen.
They were viewed as omens, yeah. So it was like, a good way for them to say, well, don't plan anything spectacular on these days because, there will be an eclipse coming in 15 days and, maybe don't get married or whatever. And it was so specific that it could tell you, like, during a, like, lunar eclipse, what direction the shadow would move across the moon and whether or not it would be like a red, like a blood eclipse or a black eclipse, total or partial. Like this thing just computed that. Yeah. And like I said, it was older than Jesus.
Take that, Jesus.
It was like I said, it was a way for them to track shit like that extremely accurately. Every Greek state possessed their own calendar back in the day, 2,000 years ago.
Hang on. So they each had their own calendar? Or, like, there was just, like, one Greek calendar, and then, like, October was Athens, and then, like, July was...
No. Like each... So, like here in America, there would be, like, Missouri having its own calendar. Like, you're still a part... Like, you share calendars. Like, it's the same basic layout, but you've got kind of different names for things, maybe different holidays you celebrate.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
See. So you couldn't, like...
Different divisions.
So you couldn't, like, have your birthday and then, like, drive to Delaware and then have your birthday in, like, 3 days.
Right, yeah, probably not.
Okay, that's not fun.
But that did help narrow down where exactly in Greece the mechanism may have been built.
Oh, I see.
And perhaps who actually created it. They discovered that it was made in Syracuse.
California?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, this is an ancient alien time machine, Jesse. Have you not been paying attention?
Partially, yes.
It's a time machine, okay?
I don't think it's a time machine. We'll get to that, but I think I know exactly what it is.
All right. It's a space helicopter.
It's a piggy bank.
Even better.
It's a piggy bank for nickels.
Nope, not even close. Not even close.
God damn it. So, hell, where was I? Anyway, this thing was made in Syracuse.
Is that, like, confirmed?
That's the best theory.
Okay.
Right now.
Like there's a lot of theories right now.
Yeah, that's the one that basically the team were like, we're pretty sure it was made in Syracuse. So they kind of used, like I said, the ancient Greek calendar, kind of aligned with what was on the mechanism itself, and they kind of narrowed it down to Syracuse. Could have been a couple other places, but they think it's Syracuse because, like I said earlier, this device was so fucking insanely precise, so fucking crazy, that you or I couldn't make it today if we wanted to. They thought it would take possibly one of the greatest minds in human history to make this thing, given the time, and that person, they believed, was Archimedes.
Archimedes. I was going to say Leonardo da Vinci.
No. Close.
I read some article where some island in the area that they thought it had come from, and it was from like a shop. Like they thought that a group of people worked on it together.
Yeah, possibly. You may be right. Because Archimedes was alive in the 3rd and 4th century BC. So they thought Archimedes built the initial model, and then what actually happened was... So Archimedes, for those of you who may not know, he was a brilliant scientist. He was the one who determined how far away the moon was from the Earth.
It's really far.
Like, precisely. It's really far. I can't throw an apple.
It's just way
and hit the moon.
The fuck up there.
Yeah. And it's not made out of cheese. Or maybe it is made out of cheese, and that's why it's gray, because it's all moldy.
It's a projection by NASA, is what it is.
I don't know if it's a projection. I think we might just live in like a gigantic fucking tent, and and it's just like part of the fabric.
Oh,
you know,
like the Starry Night things that you can put on the ceiling,
like
oh.
like the Truman Show.
Yeah,
Kind of like that. You ever seen the Truman
Creepy.
Show? Yeah, maybe. You ever been to the fucking moon? No. How do you know? How do you know we're not? How do you fucking know? You can't throw a fucking apple that far.
No, and I can throw an apple pretty far.
I can throw a fucking apple pretty far.
Only
too.
apples. Only apples, though.
Yeah, that's how they figured out all the biggest scientific crazes back in the day. The apples, man. Throw an apple at it. Gravity. Throw an apple at the moon. Moon's really far away.
Yep.
Archimedes is a genius.
I'm bringing nickels back, baby.
So, he also built these really cool corkscrew water lifts. It was basically like a machine that ran on water and could lift like tons and tons of shit.
Nobody used.
Grappling hook devices. He built cranes that were used to lift boats out of the water. He used them in warfare too. Like if enemy ships would sail too close, he'd just fucking lift your ship out of the water and like toss it over the fucking wall, and you'd just get stabbed to death.
Nice.
So what happened was the Romans, them pesky Romans, they attacked Syracuse. General Marcus Claudius Marcellus gave the order to attack the city, but he told his soldiers specifically to spare Archimedes because everyone knew he was a fucking genius. They were like, listen, this guy might be the smartest guy ever. He's probably a wizard. Don't fucking try to kill him, okay?
This fucking house is booby trap.
So the rumor is a Roman soldier comes up, discovers an old man drawing circles in the dirt, gives him an order to move. The old man basically looks up and tells him to suck dicks. The soldier runs him through and doesn't think twice. The old guy was Archimedes. Yeah. So General Marcellus it is well documented that General Marcellus himself went into Archimedes' home and took two things that were described as devices or machines. He took them for himself, this Roman general. And 150 years later, Cicero was visiting this general's home in Rome and described in writing seeing a device in the basement of the home of Marcellus that his General Marcellus's grandchildren told him was a device of Archimedes. And he described the device as having rotating planets with coinciding speeds and orbits. And it was made of bronze and all kinds of shit. So they think Archimedes built the initial device because this Antikythera device was likely built around the same time as the clay pots and shit. So they think it was like a gift to other great minds. It was, Archimedes built this thing. Someone may have taken it from this General so-and-so's house 150 years later. So sometime in the 2nd century, probably 100 to 150 years before the actual Antikythera device was made. And it's thought that they refined it a little and made it what it was. So all of ancient Greek culture was based on celestial events, blah, 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 blah. It's thought that when they were refining the device they got from Archimedes, they kept these things in mind. Holidays, paydays, meetings, even like public executions were scheduled on important celestial days. Yeah, imagine having... So it was basically, when they say it was the world's first computer, imagine... So imagine the entire, like all of America does run on a calendar, right?
Uh-huh.
Like we run on Monday through Friday.
The
now
Gregorian, I think. Gregorian calendar.
Yeah. So like our work week, all the holidays, everything a society needs to, the structure of a society is based on time. It's based on a calendar. Now imagine all of modern American society existing on one device that one guy fucking has, that would be the most important fucking machine.
The president's cell phone.
Yeah, just like that. He can fucking text you directly. That fucking prick was texting me like 3 times a day prior
to the fucking election?
Fucking Cape Girardeau rally. No, prior to the rally in
There
Cape.
was a fucking rally in Cape.
You didn't hear about
He
that?
came to Cape Girardeau.
He came to Cape Girardeau, yeah.
Why?
To talk to fucking,
His people.
everyone that goes to that fucking cowboy church.
Holy fucking shit. This is the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in.
It was a great success, apparently.
You almost sound sad you missed it.
I'm sure it was the biggest rally ever recorded. His words, not mine.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a great rally. It's the best rally. We hold the best rallies. Rush Limbaugh was there.
Of course he was. I bet his fucking knees were so skin up from being on them for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there weren't even like clocks at this
No,
time.
no, there were no
Just
clocks.
makes
There were
this
sundials and
remarkable.
shit. But
Yeah, sundials.
I mean, that just told the time. So like back then, that was like a point where like you could just look
Right,
up
I
at
just
the
mean,
sky
like-
and be like, yeah, it's probably like, a couple hours after noon.
Right. I mean, the average person, I don't know, maybe they had never... I mean, it didn't occur to them that there was another way to track time than by the sun.
Right.
So for someone to have created not only a clock, but this masterpiece that could track several things simultaneously,
Yeah.
it's really remarkable.
Yeah.
So our first supercomputers that could have done the same thing filled up entire rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was capable of being held in your hand. And it's 2,000 years older
Right.
than the earliest thing modern society could have
Right.
produced to recreate
Their
what it could do.
Fucking pineal glands weren't calcified, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We also aren't using cogs and wheels.
They had
Sure.
very, very slick perineums.
Fuck, I said it wrong again, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
What the fuck is it called? Your peritoneum?
Nope. You're going right into the perineum again.
God damn it.
So the perineum,
Pineal
for
gland.
those of you who... Yeah, that's
Fuck
what it
yeah.
is. The perineum,
Yeah.
why we keep bringing up the perineum. Do you know what the perineum is? Do you know what your perineum is?
Ooh.
It's like,
Jesse, do you know what your perineum is?
It's like, it's that flap of skin that comes up when you poop.
What? What kind of fucking alien
You don't
are
have
you?
one of those?
You've got a flap that comes up when you
Yeah,
poop?
man, I call it my trench coat. Just flips on up.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm asking the wrong person. So, my perineum is the gooch, basically.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
It's, between the hole and the sex organ.
Betwixt.
So, yeah.
Between your butt ass and your dick wiener, right?
Fucking dick wiener. Hell yeah. So, in conclusion, this thing was super important. A guy named Michael Wright, he was a mechanical
What
engineer.
is wrong with your eyebrows?
Are you talking me? I got a fucking tick
Yes.
when I get tired. Like my
You've been doing
the
it
top of my
nonstop.
like right here on the crease. Like they feel like they weigh a million pounds, so I gotta like do this,
But it's your eyebrows. Just
Yeah.
fucking like. I thought at first when we started, I thought you were like, I don't know, trying to be funny or something.
No.
And then I tried to like ignore
No, I
it.
get this.
Josh, have you noticed?
Yeah, no, this is something I've been aware of for the past
okay.
8
Yeah,
years.
I get a fucking
My
tick
bad.
whenever I get when my eyes.
I
get
don't know
tired.
that I've ever seen this
Yeah.
happen before.
Because I hide
Yeah.
it. Okay, I'm ashamed.
Do you remember, Josh, do you remember the girl in school? I don't want to say her name, but do you remember the nose thing?
Oh, God. Who doesn't remember that?
What nose thing?
The fucking...
Yeah, she did this like
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every class had somebody that did that. Just like,
Do you remember the kid that would just fucking flip pencils all day? Remember him?
yeah, that
He'd
was
just fucking sit up in the corner and be like,
that was me. I did that.
and he actually got really good at it. Like he was like flipping it between his fingers and shit.
That was me. I did that.
Ah.
He was the pencil flipping kid. Also in elementary school, do you remember the girl that used to spank her ass when she ran around on the fucking playground? She used to like scream and fucking slap her ass and like jump around.
Yeah, like they were riding a horse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To clarify, this is the same girl who told me in middle school she couldn't have a sleepover because she poops her pants at night.
Nice. Solid. Wow.
Hopefully.
Wow. Yeah, hopefully.
So Jack ended up.
Oh, fuck.
Jack's a dirty boy.
Oh,
We'll
God.
just leave it at that.
Oh.
We'll just leave it at that. Jack's a dirty, dirty man.
At least he got a heart of gold.
I don't think that makes up.
You know,
I don't think that makes up for that.
It's more than I can say. There was always this kid that ran
Jack used to call them DGs. You remember that?
DGs.
Oh, God.
He'd be like, "Yo,
Dirty
I'm talking to
girls.
so and so, and she's a DG, man."
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute,
And they were
what?
boinking.
She's a what? Yeah,
Anal butt sex?
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like boinking this girl, man. I'm like, what?
You were fucking what?
You're 17. Try again.
Did you go to jail? The fuck? Oh man, I told you about the time. So, you know, his fucking girlfriend was my neighbor
Yeah.
in high school. So he would just like constantly come over to my house and then just not come over to my house anymore. He'd be like, "Hey bro, what's up? Here's all my shit. I'll be right back." And then just leave. And I'd be like, all right. So he was gone for like fucking 6 hours one night. I'm like, dude, I don't even know if he's even over there anymore. Like maybe they went to McDonald's or something, whatever. So I just walk outside, right? I walk out onto my deck, and it was like a full moon, right? I remember it was way too bright outside for being dark. I walk out and I got my hands on my hips. I'm like, It was late fall, crisp air, you know. I'm like, and then I just hear, ugh. I'm like, what the hell? I look down the way, and I just see Jack's big, hairy, fucking pale ass just fucking gyrating, right? And I was like, yep, going inside. And I just spun right back around and went in.
I would have ruined the fuck out of that moment.
So, well, they were like 2 houses down.
Oh, man.
So they didn't know.
You saw it that far.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't know I saw that. But they were outside, I guess, because her family was all home or whatever, and he was getting ready to leave. He explained it to me later. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you know, we got real horny, and fucking everyone's, like, inside. He's like, and I go to walk out to, like, walk back over to your house, and we just fucking got into it, man, right there. Just had to fucking bend her over right there on the porch, and she had, like, this huge wraparound porch, so, like, they were on the side of her house, on, like, a section of the porch, and, yeah.
Young love.
Just happened to be in line with my back deck, like the side of their house, a couple houses down, and it's just, yep, something you never forget. That is something you never ever forget.
I heard him reach the old mountaintop one time. When
Yeah. I think I've heard this story.
He was living at when he was living at the house in Cape. I had moved out. I was actually living down here, I think, and I had brought my then girlfriend over, and we were laying in bed, and I hear him downstairs, just going at it. I hear of the
Yeah.
fucking bed frame hitting the wall, and then I heard what sounded like a bear trying to deadlift a fucking concrete truck or something. Like, I can't even replicate it. But Then I threw.
I've never heard that, but I can hear it.
Yeah, just like like Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to like bench press a trailer park. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
like
So
shit his fucking brain into his boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still hear it. I'll be walking alone at night and I just hear it.
Nah, dude, every time I walk out onto my fucking deck, I look over and I'm like, ugh. Ugh.
You guys have PTSD.
There's just like this ghostly Jack's ass just like gyrating and then it fades away.
Fucking undulating and fucking...
Like a sad song starts playing.
For some reason, I was just reminded of that fucking... whatever spirit from Spirited Away that like eats everything.
Oh fuck! What's it?
Yeah.
No Face. Yeah,
Yeah.
No Face.
Yeah, I just imagined it just like in the fucking little cafeteria there, just take me outside and beat me with a shovel. Oh, so, whew, yeah. Anywho, so yeah, this mechanical engineer built a modern replica of the fucking thing using the exact... So after they x-rayed it and figured it all out and figured out all the fucking gears, right? And they did a lot of, like, math. They did a ton of math. This guy built a modern replica to the standards of the ancient device. He built the whole thing by hand.
Nice.
And it totally fucking works.
Cool.
Like totally fucking works.
The front of it has, it's kind of set up like a clock where there's a hand for all the planets and stuff, right?
Yeah. All so like all the there was like they only knew 5 or 6 planets then, or I guess they only considered that many things planets back then. Like all the way out to Jupiter, I think. So that's all they had on there. There was no Neptune. I don't think they had Saturn or Pluto. But,
right.
Yeah. So, yeah, like 5 or 6 hands. There was one for the moon. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. And then Jupiter, I think. And it's really fucking cool. So, now, like I said...
Do you guys really think that that's what it was for?
Well, I mean, once... So before I started fucking looking at it through the lens of fucking modern science, which tends to fucking just take the goddamn gusto out of everything.
Yeah, the world's a boring place.
It is. Once you start looking at all these different things and you start doing your research, rather than watching the YouTube videos that come from God knows fucking where, some mom's basement in Utah. Once you like start, looking at the actual research on shit, and they start hitting you with all this fucking mathematics and all the stuff that fucking makes sense and is fucking logical, it kind of ruins any idea, like any fantastical idea,
right?
I may have had about it. So I think it was more of an exciting topic prior to me doing all the research for it. But, I mean, a boy can still dream. Like I said, it could be a fucking ancient bronze fucking sex-activated space dildo time machine, I mean, all you gotta do is shave your fucking perineum and present it to the sun. Insert the Antikythera device and you're fucking off to fucking Venus in 1943,
Yeah.
Isn't that where that one fucking guy's from? Valiant Thor? He's from Venus.
Oh, Valiant Thor. I know that.
He's a Venusian.
I know that name.
It's also a band.
Of course it is.
But before it was a band, it was a guy who claimed to be from Venus. Maybe we could do an episode on him sometime.
Maybe.
So, if they built this crazy thing...
Yeah.
Whether it was Archimedes or whoever...
Yep.
Why wouldn't their certainly he would have been shitting out some clocks. Like, right? Like, I just mean, wouldn't there be more?
So
things like this floating around?
They think it was like a child of Archimedes. Or like a project of his. Not the mechanism itself, like I said, but it was like an offshoot of something he had designed. So, with that in mind, I feel like they only had the one model to go off of. I feel like the actual mechanism they found was just a replica, or like a reverse engineered version of the one that Archimedes made. So, without Archimedes around, I feel like there were only minimal improvements to be made on his design, if any. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying, with technology like that in existence, whether during Archimedes' time or later, I'm surprised it wasn't extrapolated upon and utilized elsewhere.
People just weren't that smart. I mean, once you've got something in front of you, like, you can take it apart and then use the design to build another one. But, like I ain't smart enough to, like, take that idea.
Yeah, but you don't think Archimedes had some other shit like that?
I mean, he built all kinds of crazy shit. But, like I said, fucking cranes that could lift ships out of the ocean. You know?
Yeah.
That's just, for then, I mean...
I just mean, unless he kept it a secret, if somebody made something crazy today, just some dude at his house, like, and anybody found out about it, like, they'd want one.
Yeah. Well,
like,
usually what happens is when somebody does do something like that, they're in a position to upset some sort of massive market. So then the leading entity in that particular market will approach this person and, quote unquote, buy their idea from them. Basically be like, listen, we're going to give you $20 million for this. You give us all the rights.
You're going to go away.
And you don't ever fucking do anything like this again. Okay?
Like the people with the solar panel streets.
Right.
Like,
where'd those go?
Yeah. They, to my knowledge, still refuse to be bought out.
Yeah.
But I don't
but
think
that's the
anybody's
problem.
Rush to install them.
If you want to do it, you've got to get support from government or the largest companies that are involved with doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Mm-hmm. So that's it. You're not going anywhere unless you've got one or both of those things. Yep. So I mean, I think it's a great idea. I'm sure they probably don't have any more power bills, those people that built those things. Have you seen those, Jesse? The fucking solar roadways?
Yeah, I looked them up.
It was like a fucking...
It's wild.
It's like a brilliant idea.
Haven't they come up with a way to also, like, obtain energy from people walking, like, on top of things?
Yeah.
It's like, stick a few hundred of those in Times Square and, like, power the whole fucking vicinity, you know?
There's, wearable jewelry that can harvest the energy from, like, your heart, like your blood pumping, and you can, like, charge your cell phone.
That's fucking wild.
Like, using your own motion. Yeah.
It really makes you think about, like, all the charges, like the electrical current in your body, and, like, electrolytes you consume, and, like, proton pumps and all that shit. It's wild.
I will tell you this, the X-26 taser makes you vastly aware of the electrical current in your body. You are
maybe
very, very aware.
We should share that.
We could do that. Pop that on YouTube. I'm not employed with anybody anymore. Yeah. Maybe we could save that for our Patreons, you know?
Yeah.
The patrons.
YouTube subscribers.
We'll save that. Yeah. Yeah, if we ever start one of those fucking Patreon things. We gotta give people stuff. Yeah, we'll give you that. We'll let them, like... We'll, like, give them access to the rest of our music You know, like the monolith stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we've got some bargaining chips.
Just upload a bunch of dumbass videos like once a month.
Yeah, we could do some stupid, like, we could do like little like skits and like all those skits we wanted to do.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Like they don't have to be particularly funny at that point. Like, remember that time my mom came in and like saw me wearing her dress?
Josh, what the fuck?
So we were in the middle of like rehearsing this skit. For some reason I wanted it to be like, you know, practice like you play, man. Practice like you play. If you're gonna fucking do it, let's do it. Let's go get a dress. Let's go get some jewelry. I'll put on a fucking skirt, whatever, right? So we were gonna do like two gay parents that have a son who was going to come out to his parents, but like as straight. And, you know, he was going to be like, you know, and this was, God, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, and
I
they
don't know.
fucking stole it in a movie.
Did
they? There's the movie Love, Simon. Yeah, totally fucking stole it.
Oh, really? God damn.
Because the mom's like...
We should have...
Yeah.
We should have done it first.
Because he's like, imagine if you had to come out to your parents as straight. Then, like, one lady, she's losing it. She's like, you get this from your daddy's side. And that's funny.
We were going to do the exact same fucking thing. Because we were going to have like an overly masculine gay dad and then like a super feminine gay dad. She was going to blame it on the masculine gay.
Yeah.
She was going to start crying and he was going to be like, look what you fucking made your father do.
Yep.
You know? Now you've upset your dad. Apologize. God damn it. Shit.
Still do our own rendition.
We should have jumped on it when we had the fucking gusto. Or like the guy mowing his yard.
Yeah, we could still do that one.
Yeah, we could do that one. The dark parking lot, like trip and fall, and then like, and then who knows? Just put Finn.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's all it needs.
For some reason, that was much more funny when I was 18.
Everything,
like in my mind.
Everything was funnier when we were 18.
That was much more funny to me. So I haven't gotten any new music from anyone.
Recently. Whoa!
So,
hang on. Is this over?
What, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, do you have any theories?
Yeah, I've always got theories, man.
Well then, fuck, let's hear it, man.
Well, I mean, we got to do the rounds.
Yeah, I already said mine.
Oh, what was yours?
It was I initially thought it was like, so legitimately when I first discovered this thing's existence, I thought that it was something that a time traveler may have gifted someone.
Oh.
I didn't think it was a part of a time travel device itself. They just said like I said, it was very clickbaity, and it was like ancient technology that shouldn't fucking exist, right? This will rewrite textbooks, you know, if it's discovered to be true, you know. Impossible mathematics, impossible design. And I thought, well, fuck it, clearly that's from the future, because we can't make that now, not without fucking extreme aid from computer programs. So, like, imagine going out into your garage and someone, like, handing you several sheets of bronze and being like, hey, make me something to calculate the sky. Thanks. And then you're like, I gotta do what? Like, yeah, like,
not
all
to change the
spots.
subject, but, like, so it was hand cranked, right?
Yeah.
So, like, did you just, like, crank it for one day? Like, how did it actually do it?
So, I mean, you could go, like, back and forth. So, like, you could crank it forward to discover, like, 30 days down the road what's going to happen, you know?
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Like I said, it was on, like, however many 223 month cycle before it cranked all the way around and started over. So, I mean...
I gotcha. It's helping my visualization process. So... I don't think there's anything crazy theory-wise about it, but I think that most of what we have decided about our timeline as humans is wrong, and I think that shit was probably all over the place, and we just haven't come across it yet.
It's possible.
Right.
I like that. I like that theory.
Well, I mean, like I was talking about earlier, you've got to keep things like modern business in mind. So if you discover something that could disrupt someone's cash flow, then stuff tends to get buried a little. You know what I mean?
Every article I read said that its main purpose was to figure out if there was going to be an eclipse around the time of the Olympics. Like, so fucking somebody knew about it who mattered.
Right.
Somebody who planned the Olympics. I don't know. That just seems like a dumb reason to make it. I like to think that it's a more widespread, like, maybe it was something he wanted to have implemented into society at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, so even like Christmas, we celebrate Christmas on the 25th. Not because that was Jesus Christ's birthday, but because that's the winter solstice.
Yeah.
And they celebrated important events on important celestial days like that because they didn't have cell phones and no one fucking knew when you were born. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, shit, when's your birthday? It's like, it was like fucking cold out. I don't know, it was pretty fucking cold outside. But it wasn't quite the new year yet. Be like, okay, yeah, we'll just celebrate your birthday on the solstice. And, you know, that was it. That's what they did. So, their entire society, like I said, was based around these celestial events, you know. Don't plan things when an eclipse is coming. We need to know when the next full moon's going to be. That way we can hold this celebration and start planning now. We need to know, you know, when all the planets are going to align next so we can fucking celebrate that. Maybe, you know, sacrifice some virgins or whatever, coronate the new fucking leader of the country, you know, whatever. I mean, all of their important events, they tried to align with these celestial events. And I feel like it was just a step forward in making it more accessible to the everyday person. Like you were saying earlier, I feel like if they made this one and then, 200 years later it was discovered in this fucking general's basement, someone's like, holy shit, this thing's great. And then they start fucking pooping out clones, you know. I feel like that's one way to make it available everywhere.
You know, in my day, if we wanted to know the answer to something, we'd ask a Ouija board.
Yeah, I've never fucked with one of those.
I haven't either. I won't touch them.
My mother made me very scared of those.
Same.
Yeah.
Your mother has a knack for making anything sound terrifying.
She does.
I've watched a lot of people use them.
Yeah.
And there have been a couple freaky times and a lot of bullshit times.
Right. I mean, like, you gotta wonder, like, what dick wiener is fucking zooming the thing around, you know, spelling out fucking 666 fucking anal butt sex sodomizer, you know.
Or Zozo.
Right.
Yeah, so what's your theory, Jesse?
My theory... Okay, how big was this thing?
The
one that they found in the ocean?
So, big enough to be
big, right?
Big enough to be held in the hand.
I thought it was massive.
They think, all in all, so they found only about half of it. The piece they found was probably about the size of your head.
Because it was covered in wood on the outside.
Yeah, they think it was like probably a rectangular shape, if this is just a guesstimate, a wild guess here, maybe 10 inches by 30, if I had to guess. And they think it was like mounted to a piece of wood, or was perhaps like in like a wooden box that you would open, and you know something like some sort of protective thing.
For some reason, I was under the impression it was massive.
No,
but
no.
That actually goes in better with my theory. So, it's run with a hand crank, right?
Yeah.
Crank it to make it work. Lots of gears.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
Very finely tuned machine. So, what I think the whole solar calendar thing was just an added benefit. I think it was just something to like impress the kids. Because of what I think it was really used for. Okay. Have you ever been to Grant's farm?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
man. One time when I was like 6.
Okay. You know how you can put a penny in the thing and then crank it and it makes the penny flat
Yeah.
with a little design on it?
Yeah.
So you put your fucking nickels in
Don't
the
you
top
goddamn.
and you and then it's got a picture like a little Roman naked man on
Well,
it.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have nickels.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
They did not have fucking
They didn't call them nickels. They called them like Octavians or sissy
Little Caesars.
sissy misses.
So they had coins, and that was it. The only thing that changed the coin's value was what it was made out of, and they didn't have nickel.
And if it was made out of nickel, it'd be a nickel.
They didn't have that though.
Can you prove that?
Yeah,
How?
yeah, because it wasn't there.
I need you to go back in time
Yeah, we
They
could be
had-
wrong.
and approach someone and ask them for for nickel. And when they say, "What is that?" then I'll believe you.
What is
Also,
that?
while
Well,
you're
we
there,
need
could
this
you see who
device.
made this?
We need this device.
Do you
to
realize?
Go back in time to
Do you
that.
fucking realize that nickel has been around since the dawn of time? Nickels are eternal. Okay?
Did you
It's
know
eternal.
that modern nickels are not made out of nickel?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's all in the name.
Like pennies used to be made out of copper, and they're not.
Yeah, they're not anymore. Made out of like zinc or some shit.
And quarters are not made out of midgets.
They're not made out of quartz. But yeah, it's a giant fucking coin pressing machine. Or little coin I keep thinking it's huge.
Yeah.
I saw a fucking YouTube thumbnail of it one time.
Yeah.
And it was the ocean floor and these divers and this gear that was like the size of a car.
No.
And that just goes to show you, just like all the meme videos you see with the chick that's almost got her boobs hanging out, the thumbnail never matches the video.
That's the clickbait, man. It's just for the views,
Exactly.
dog. You click that video and
Shit.
it's got a fucking view on it. So
Yeah, we were talking about putting boobs as the art for our YouTube
Yeah.
videos.
yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah,
Just
we,
draw
yeah, we
people
thought
in.
about that. Yeah,
Oh,
but
God, no.
just enough to cover the nip. You know,
Right.
Like some fucking buxom blonde bombshell on a beach.
I'm probably
More
gonna do
B
it.
words,
Like just for this one.
and
just
then
this
like some
episode.
clickbait title. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be like, "You won't believe what they found at the ocean."
That should be the name of the episode. Capital letters. Capital letters.
Yeah, sure.
At
Fine.
the ocean.
Footprint experts hate them.
Are you Greek? Then you must watch this.
Yeah. I
Even
fell in-
people that aren't Greek will be like, "Fuck, I ain't Greek, but I gotta watch this shit."
this sounds amazing. I fell down a YouTube rabbit hole with it was like this video, some psychology video, and it was like only the most intelligent people do this, and I'm like, huh, I want to see if I'm smart.
Right.
It was just like the dumbest fucking shit.
It's like, do you walk? Do you stand up and walk with 2 legs?
You're pretty smart.
You're a pretty smart guy. How about this? Do you also use those 2 legs to run? Because if you walk
Wow.
and run with the same pair of legs, you're smarter than 99% of the population.
Yeah.
Whew.
When's the last time you shit your pants? Has it
Most
been a long
people
time?
change legs to
You're
run.
probably a genius.
They don't even know that they can just use the same fucking legs. Like those fucking memes, have you seen that? It's like, running was invented by John Runn when he tried to walk twice. Have you seen those fucking things?
No, that's incredible. I need those.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Oh my god, send those to me. I need to look at those.
All right. You know how memes are. Those were hot like a month ago, so they don't exist anymore.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, they're out there. I don't even know what they're called, like what type of meme they are, so I don't even know how you'd even begin to search for that, but...
You just know your meme.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do. Type it into that.
Oh, so I remember in the last episode or two we talked about the internet. And we made all the fucking crazy... It was during the John Titter episode 5.
John Titter.
We made all of the...
Oh, you said it titter. It's
yeah, I know.
Teeter.
That was a swing at you, but...
Don't act like it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So, listen. So, we made all the, like, fucking modem sounds, the fucking right?
Yep.
Now, did you ever imagine at that point in time that you would mainly only use the internet to look up the most fucking abnormal, ridiculous shit that children come up with in their spare time?
Nope.
Like, most of my internet usage comes from that. I'm on fucking iFunny, or, my brother's sending me fucking YouTube, like, short clips, like the fucking dog bark thing. Bark. Borf.
Mm-hmm.
Sniffing heck. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, who knew, man? All of the fucking knowledge ever in human history at your fingertips. And I'm looking up heckin' borks.
Yep.
Like they say, man, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time.
God damn it.
What do you got, Jesse? You're acting like you got something.
Oh, yeah, I found him. It's called Twice at the Same Time.
Ah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you know that people were immortal until Rupert Dye invented dying when he tried to sleep twice at the same time?
Ridiculous. All right, let me wrap up this episode. So I can't decide. I'm gonna let Catherine and Jesse. Let's just go for a vote. Let's do a vote again.
Let's do a vote.
So we've already done all of these bands, okay? But they all sent me multiple tracks. So
Okay.
I'll list off the bands, and you vote which one you want to hear, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
So we've got that band from Canada that recorded in their garage called Drop Dead City. We've got Glass Divide. We did their song Trigger Warning. We've got Uncle
That
Daddy.
one was pretty good. Yeah, they were fun.
Uncle Daddy, we did Thick Licks and High Kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We've got Born with Open Eyes, and I told them that they should have been Born Without Eyes.
They were pretty good. I like their
We
stuff.
did their song Dead Flowers and Faded Portraits.
Yeah.
And then we've got Heart of Jordan, and they sent me their entire fucking album.
We should just do those guys by default.
These guys? Heart of Jordan?
Yeah. Because they gave you so many options.
Yeah.
Did we use anything by them yet?
I think it was a track called Shade.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember.
So, yeah, okay. I guess fucking you both decided we'll do another Heart of Jordan track.
Let's do it.
This is Deaf Ears by Heart of Jordan on your home of metal. Welcome to Die Radio.
Bye.
Tune in next time. We're gonna shit directly into your pants and then make you walk around in it.
And rub your butts together perpendicular.
Yeah.
Foreplay.
Foreplay.
On KT 107.75.
Cross butt smashing. All right. Well, that's enough of that. Catch you next week when we throw rubber ducks into the sun to try and gauge the distance of the sun. All right.
I think it's pretty far.
Yeah.
I bet it's way far.
Yeah, it's only pretty far.
There's another theory in there as well.
What?
As far as why the fuck are the sun and the moon the exact same size in the sky? They're just far enough away to be the moon perfectly covers the sun.
Whoa.
It's because of the white Jesus, man.
Also, the moon orbits the Earth, right?
Yeah.
But it's also spinning.
Yeah, it just spins at the
It
exact...
spins just fast enough to where you only fucking see the one side of it as it's orbiting the Earth.
Yeah. Crazy how nature make that, man.
There's theories in there. There's fucking theories in there.
We'll get to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do an episode on that.
Hollow moon.
Stuff.
Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
The sun's
agreed.
the sun's a fucking hologram, man.
Vril energy.
Yeah. Fucking Vril. Nazis. Antarctica. Look it up.
Mole people.
You fucking plebeians. Alright.
Oh, God. Fucking NPCs.
Yeah, you fucking sheeple. Fuck you, Jesse. Suck my toes. I'm out of here.
Okay, yeah, fuck this.
Suck
Bye.
my fucking feet.
Bye.
Bye. Restless and empty-handed, someone grabs hold.